And she spares one of them because he is sick. And he has the plague. Yeah, the plague plays a big part in this plot. So she goes to this king, and this people will not help this kingdom because these say they're plague infective. But so Sonja is the only one willing to help and tries to train everyone to fight in combat. And these people on the way to kill them because they're plague infected, so they say. But by the time they get there, they're still in training and have barely accomplished anything. The army that is coming to destroy the kingdom has already got it there. So Red Sonja goes ahead and fights the army herself, and fights one of her sisters from past life, and they go toe to toe with each other, and it's a very brutal fight. It's been kind of awesome, actually, and they're explaining how they know each other and their past lives and stuff. And anyway, Sonja loses and turns out she is infected with the plague, and the only way for her to save the people from all of them getting killed is if she leaves and it's like and is no longer returns. So she does. Then she gets sicker and she starts hallucinating, and then she has flashbacks of when she first became Red Sonja, devil or hell something, something. Anyway, has a flashback of when she was little and first hunted and didn't let the deer go away. And the father tells her, little Sonja, to stay here and don't go into combat. And she watched what's happening, and she ignores her father's orders and gets a clear view of what's going on and aims an arrow. But this guy, he gets her. And then she kills this guy that has her by the neck, kind of like this that has her by the neck, and she kills this guy anyway. And then she so now her father, her two brothers, and mother are all dead. Her family's Red Sonja's family and her village is dead. So she takes vengeance upon the village and kills all of the ones who were there, one by one, quickly. Cuts to present time, and Red Sonja is being saved by those two girls that helped her out earlier. They want to be just like Red Sonja. And the voluntary Sonja's bodyguards. And so they bond a little, and Red Sonja knows that they want to be like Red Sonja, and Red Sonja tells them, says, you'll never be a warrior because you're kind and decent. And it's kind of back and forth to when her sister, which was also another word for old friend, in prison, and Bally people cut to prison and cut back and forth to young Red Sonja talking to the girl that bandaged her earlier in the movie when they were young, and talk back and forth to each other, and then they go out to the ring to attack to fight, and Sonja decapitates one of the people, and she kills a bunch of other people, and she says her name is Red Sonja to the crowd, and the bodyguards are carrying Red Sonja on the back with this, the stretcher, and a stretcher attached to the horses, and they blindfolded her because the plague is damaging her eyes, so they blindfold her to help her out, and they get the Red Sonja's bodyguards get ambushed by a bunch of guys, and they can't take them down. Although they strongly did try their best. So Red Sonja goes to fight. Red Sonja gets up and fights all of them blindfolded. It's like several creatures, and there's several creatures of them that she has to fight, and she fights them all one by all. It's like basically an army of them, and she says several of them, and she fights all of them blindfolded. It's like so cool. And it's like really cool action scene. Like slash. This is toothpaste. slash. And she takes off the blindfold when she decapitates a guy in a river near a waterfall, I think, and she goes to this guy, which is the king's son, and by the way, the king, forgot to say, he got killed. Why is that important? Well, he got killed by the girl that banned Red Sonja, and she also pledged her allegiance to the king. And a little more, and these girls buried the king in this certain place, and Red Sonja gets mad at them because she feels they dishonor them all by burying the king in this place, and this girl, which is the bad guy. This girl, she wanted to burn the king's corpse, but they didn't do it, so they buried him in his favorite spot. So Red Sonja is downstairs getting help from this guy that knows a cure for the plague, which is leeches. And the bodyguards are upstairs talking to these other people, saying that they will lead them into combat. So, Red Sonja is given this armor to go into combat that was won by the king. And the girl that banished Red Sonja finds out that she broke her vow and is ready to go toe to toe with her. And Red Sonja is all better, by the way. She doesn't have the plague anymore. So they meet where they first met. And the stadium of where gladiators used to fight, I think. And they're ranked to about to kill each other when this guy, he starts starting drinking his wine, and it's the king that had them fight in the first place, and explains that the red plague is that's not really a plague, it's poison that's been going on, and he's been poisoning everyone. So and also her friend that she was going to fight now realized that she was being tricked and doesn't want to fight her anymore. So, but her friend, she sees the ghosts, and she thinks that it's hard to say. She thinks Red Sonja thinks that she's a little delusional, and now figuring this out has broken her, and then so a friend goes to attack Red Sonja and says, "Remember the stuff I did to you?" And she thinks that she's crazy. Red Sonja thinks that she's like completely lost at first. But then she realized she's trying to trick the real bad guy. And so she can go to so they can both go to attack the real enemy. And the first she goes to attack the like bunch of guys, and then they shoot arrows at Red Sonja, and her friend saves her like one last time, and this is a really intense movie. So what happens? What happens? What happens? I'm not getting distracted. I'm just trying to remember what's happened. Then, let's see. Now I remember. Sonja, then she sings this backup that this bad guy sees this backup. His backup has arrived, and he says, "Please help me out, save these slave Red Sonja and her friend." And turns out it's actually just Red Sonja's bodyguards leading a army. So they go to attack, and every him and also all of his men get killed, and the king starts running, and Red Sonja is slays almost a bunch of the king's men, and Sonja goes to slay the king, and a friend comes with her, and this girl actually mentions how it says don't do it. It says she says, and Russell says, "Give me one good reason why I shouldn't kill." Basically, because he's already dead. She put the poison in his wine. And so he's just like he drank each wine he drank, it was enough to gradually poison him, and he's choking on his own poison. So now that that's done, this guy he stabs the Red Sonja's Red Sonja's friend, and through the stomach, and she's mortally wounded. So, wish I had a clip on. I could get a clip on again. And this guy, he says that he has he says, yes, victory, I have found my courage. And Red Sonja, and this, which is the same guy that healed Red Sonja, but Red Sonja knows that something's fishy, smells something fishy, and says, who else did that could have like split something that was like the plague, who also poured me my glass of wine that was in my drink. And he's like, oh shit. And he explains why he did it, because his father was ashamed of him, and then it seemed that he was, his ideas were successful, and so he kills everyone and she says, please, and she says, please, I won't do it anymore, and I can say you need me, and she says he says you need him back for his life, and says she won't, and it says he will help her any way she can, and just say for all the good I can do, it says, and she says yes, but the cost of me letting you live is too high of a price, so she slaves his head off. and the army, she goes to comfort her friend that was also, guess, kind of a girlfriend also. Of course, that's why, just by the last that she basically kissed Red Sonja on the face before she died, and Red Sonja says, I see the spirits, and as the friend was asking her if she saw the spirits that haunt her, and she says she sees the spirits now, and then she dies, and this army and the Red Sonja's two bodyguards says, Kim asks if there's any way we could ever repay you, and says, she actually says, basically, I think she said something about like, I'm going to, she says, I'm going to drink a lot at like a warrior tonight at the castle, and it ends like that.